Hello guys, Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembe'a has sounded a strong warning against any attempt to rig the 2027 presidential elections. Here's the tip.
If somebody will mess with those elections and rig them, as Rick just said, and now they're falling because he just said the truth. Don't rig the election, because if you rig the election, it's going to be trouble. And indeed, there's going to be trouble. So let people express themselves freely. Let them say that haki has been done, that justice has been done, and that the winner has won fairly. Not because you have got the tools of government and you want to impose yourself on the people. There will be trouble.
Wow, Natembe'a has just issued another stern warning concerning 2027 elections rigging. Remember, the first warning came from Rick G, the former DP, which brought different reaction from different leaders. Now Natembe'a is here with another cautionary, a strong cautionary message. And just a quick one. Why do you think Natembe'a decided to come up with this cautionary message? According to my view, this is not just a political statement, but a reflection of growing public concern, especially among the youth, over electoral justice and accountability. So I want us to look into this issue of Natembe'a, this issue of 2027 election rigging, why Natembe'a decided to come up with this, and why rigging must be avoided, why he decided that rigging must be avoided, and why any such attempts may provoke fierce backlash from the young Kenyans. So straight to the point, reason number one why Natembe'a decided to issue this cautionary message against 2027 election rigging is that, number one, youths are politically awake and impatient for the change. So according to Natembe'a, the Kenyan youths are more politically aware than before. Why? Because over the last few years, they have shown an increased interest in national affairs and governance and even justice. You just saw what happened last year during 2024 financial bill. I don't want to repeat this. So this awakening is evident in how youth across the country have mobilized through social media and street protests to demand transparency and fairness in governance. I want us to watch this clip from Eric Omondi, just for example.
Tell you guys, 2027, the wave that is coming, it is boiling nicely. In 2027, TikTok, mark my words, Instagram, YouTube, online media are going to be the KTN and the Citizen. Hakuna mtu ataiba kura. People will be live on polling stations. People will be live on, unaona vile tunaonanga kwa KTN wakirelay nini results, utaona watu na nini Murang'a wakisema hii gari imekuja na kura, hii ni gari gani, ina trend Twitter.
Wow, strong message there. So what is this supposed to mean, or what I'm learning from this? This is just simple. Tells you, unlike in the past, today's youths are unwilling to tolerate electoral fraud or political manipulation. Why? Because they are informed, organized, and eager to shape their future. So Natembe'a warning is just to emphasize that if the will is subverted through rigging, the response would be swift and unforgiving.
I'm not saying I'm not using his exact words, because he said that when you rig election, what happened in 2007 will be like a Christmas party.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more graphic, because he knows what happened in 2007. People really died in 2007.
Yeah.
That time I was actually PA to Michuki, and I was able to see what was happening because I was up there. It was very bad. And we can't talk about the Christmas party anyway, because it was very bad.
Yeah.
But I think all he was saying is, please, do not rig elections. Kenyans want to express their free will. Do not mess with that one. Because if you do, what options are you giving them? Yeah. If you cannot do that peacefully through the ballot, you've stopped them from doing that. What is the option? It's common sense. So even those who are just making noise, it was just a warning that don't steal elections. But they're focusing on the consequences of stealing the election. That people will fight. That's what he meant. So don't steal election, and will not have any other issues. People just go about their life. But Kenya must change. We're on the wrong trajectory.
Point number two is that rigging will undermine national unity and peace. So Governor Natembe'a was just emphasizing that election rigging poses serious threat to Kenyans' national unity and peace. So, for example, in the past, disputed elections have led to post-election violence, displacement, and deep ethnic divisions, of which we wish not to happen again. And we condemn that. Ishindo kabisa in Jesus' name. We shall not have that again. So Natembe'a cautioned that was just to caution the country cannot afford to repeat tragic events of, I don't want to mention the year, you know the year, but we don't want to risk destabilizing process made in the recent years again. So his argues that rigging in 2027 will spark widespread unrest, especially among youth who already feel, disillusioned by high unemployment, corruption, and also lack of opportunities. Hakuna kazi, si siri. Third reason behind Natembea'S warning is the eroding trust in Kenya institutions, particularly the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. You've just seen what has just happened. Wanajaribu kuweka huyu jamaa, this guy, the way he is explaining this thing, kama hayuko sure na hii job, kama, so many young people believe that the electoral bodies are compromised and influenced by powerful political interests. So Natembe'a was just trying to urge the government and electoral stakeholders to rebuild public confidence by ensuring a transparent and credibility process. Kusikwe na ukora hapo ndani. So he was just warning that any sign of rigging would confirm the youth's worst fears, that democracy is effective and would lead to something else, nationwide uprising. Fourth and final reasons why Natembe'a fired that cautionary message is that Natembe'a acknowledged the boldness and courage of Gen Zs. And for really this group, mostly composed of the tech-savvy youth born in the late 90s and early 2000s, has proven its ability to organize, resist, and challenge the authority, like just what happened last year during the protests. So from fighting for justice during the Gen Z's revolution process to calling out leaders online, this generation is fearless, by the way, work of fearless, and they have nothing to lose. That's, So Natembe'a is just trying to state that rigging the 2027 elections would amount to provoking a generation that is not afraid to stand up and fight back. So in conclusion, as we finish, Governor George Natembea'S message is a stark reminder that the legitimacy of the 2027 elections will be judged by the youth. So that's why he called on all leaders, parties, and institutions to uphold the democratic will of the people, or risk facing revolt they may not be able to maybe contain. But we believe all will be well. Come 2027, youth will vote, all will vote, and all will go well. They will choose their leader, and life will move on. Kenya is a peaceful country. We advocate for peace all through and all along. I've been your host, David Chams. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.